would like to talk about the Bitcoin ETF and other cryptocurrency updates. So what we have here is the filings by all the Bitcoin ETF applicants. Okay, so among the big names here is Grayscale, and then you have ARK, you have BlackRock, Van Eck, and then this Fidelity. This between Fidelity and BlackRock, right? These two alone, these are really huge fund managers. Okay, so basically you are looking at the applications, and then they have submitted all their amendments, which is known as 19B-4, and you can see all of them have submitted. But what I want to point out also, one thing is the custodian right over here. And you see majority of these ETFs, they are using Coinbase as the custodian. Okay, so this is a very interesting development, something that I will discuss later on today when we go to the parts where we want to look at which stock to trade. Okay. So, according to Fox Business, BlackRock expects the SEC to approve its application for a spot Bitcoin ETF on Wednesday, the 10th. That is like 2 days from now, right? And Bloomberg senior ETF analyst Eric Balchunas said that once the SEC begins approving Bitcoin ETFs, the asset class could be worth billions. And this is seen in his statement, yeah? A couple of billions would be a solid new year for any category, but I'll be a little more optimistic than that, like maybe 10 billion in year one. So if BlackRock puts even 1% into this new ETF as an allocation, that's $1 billion, as they have well over 100 billion US dollars in asset under management, right? And in the short term, it's really hard to predict. In the medium term, we do see this. Maybe in the ballpark of 30 billion to 50 billion over 3 years. And then maybe it settled down to where gold is about 100 billion over 5 years to 10 years. Now, we can actually use all these figures to calculate the value of Bitcoin. Okay, so I don't want to jump the gun first. I can do this anytime, but wait for Wednesday. Let this thing fall through first, because we don't know whether this is going to come, although the chances are good. But it's always good to be ready for anything, because currently the SEC is in process of conducting a thorough review and is expected to grant its official approval soon. While there's a slim possibility the SEC may choose to hold proceedings, it appears highly improbable. But I still want to let everybody know there is still a chance. Okay. Now, if we receive favorable news on Wednesday, the focus will promptly shift to the Ethereum ETF. This is another one that I'm pretty excited if the Bitcoin ETF goes through, right? Now, Ethereum has recently implemented an upgrade referred to EIP 1559. This upgrade involves the burning of a portion of transaction fees, okay? Now, this implies that as the Ethereum network witness increased usage, which is definitely going to happen, the quantity of Ethereum burn also rises, potentially leading to a decrease in its total supply, right? Now, in the first quarter of 2024, another anticipated upgrade is going to happen, and that is really getting everybody excited. It's known as the EIP 4844, okay? And this upgrade is projected to significantly boost Ethereum's transaction per second. Now, this is a big thing. This is really a big thing right over here, okay? Now, right over here, one reduces the supply. Number one, it speeds up the total transaction per second capacity, enhancing networks efficiency and scalability to better accommodate mass adoption. Now, those who have been following my report in the past, I've always mentioned one thing is that I see Ethereum more like the operating system of the cryptocurrency world, where majority of the operators of the cryptocurrencies, right? They build it on the cryptocurrency on the Ethereum platform, and we call this, it's known as the network effect. The value of Ethereum comes from the network effect. The more people use it, the more valuable it becomes. Okay, we have seen this like companies like Facebook, so Ethereum has that ability right now. And that's the reason why BlackRock is very interested also to list Ethereum as one of its ETF right over here. And so let's just not jump the gun. But if on Wednesday, if we see this thing being approved, right, the Bitcoin ETF being approved, you're going to see the focus, they're going to jump to Ethereum already. And from the all the articles I've been reading, there is a possibility that we might see the Ethereum ETF by the end of this year. Okay, so the next news I want to share with you guys is the Fed rate cut probability right over here. Now, this is the probability that you're seeing right now. We have a 62.3% chance that a rate cut would come March 20th. Not this FOMC meeting in January, but in March, okay? They're expected to maintain the rates for the time being until March. Now, what I want to discuss is this value right over here, 62.3, because if you have been following my reports, right, you would have seen this, that a week ago and 2 weeks before that, 3 weeks before that, we had this value well above the 70% mark, and it has came down to below 70%. So what does that mean? Now, it means this is some interesting developments. Okay, why do I say that? You see, because in the past, right, anytime we have a 70%, the chances that it's going to fall through, it's going to happen that way. But when it's below 60%, it might not. So from a 70% possibility dropping to below 70%, from above 70%, dropping below 70%, that is some changes right over here. And we still have 2 months to go. So this is some interesting developments, because in the past, I also mentioned already that Q1 rate cut may be a tad too early, as most major central banks are looking at Q2 onwards to cut rates. Okay, the ECB, the Bank of England, they're looking at least minimum Q2. So if the Fed were to cut rates first in Q1, then that could actually impact the US dollars, right? So that is one of the reasons. And not only that, we have not seen, yes, the Fed would actually cut rates, not one, if they find that inflation is on the trajectory to drop to 2%. But if they don't see this, that's why this CPI we want to see is that drop. If this CPI it maintains at 4%, I don't think that we're going to see a Q1 cut. Okay, if there's a trajectory, even a stronger one, maybe it goes to from 4 to 3.5, there's a surprise, then maybe that we might see that happening in Q1, but not at this moment. Okay. So in the Fed minutes, nearly all participants indicated that it would be appropriate to cut rates in 2024, okay? But they stopped short of informing everybody the dates, right? And the minutes also revealed that the consensus is 3 interest rate cut this year, okay? But this can change anytime. So for now, we will have to wait and see for the CPI that's going to come out later this week. And from there, we will have a better idea, what's going to happen next. Okay, so let's move on to the charts